Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to week 20. Well, it's really like week 22 because when I was in Miami, I didn't do a video for my weight loss journey update. And last week we were in Mexico for my husband's 40th birthday, so I didn't do a weight loss journey update. But welcome to week 20 of my recorded weight loss journey update. And it's interesting because when I started this whole journey, on the days that like I hadn't done well, or the weeks that I hadn't done well, I was like, oh God, I don't want to film this video. Like, I feel like I'm disappointing people. I feel like I'm letting people down. And I don't necessarily feel that way anymore. I feel like this is just a part of the journey, part of me learning things. And it all kind of seems to me to be this like, upward momentum, even if I'm not like losing weight that week or I don't do great that week or whatever, that I learn a lot of lessons. And so that's the takeaway for this week. So you can already see as we're going into this, that this, as far as the scale, was not a great week. But as far as like lessons, because I like sat down before I started filming this video and I was like, okay, well, what's been the takeaway for the last 2 weeks? What lessons have you learned? So for those of you that don't know, like I said, we went to Mexico for my husband's 40th birthday. And before I went on vacation, before we left, I pre-filmed a video on that Wednesday to post on that Thursday so that I would have a video for that week going into the week that we were going to be gone. And that was 2 weeks ago today, and I weighed in at 206 pounds, which was the lowest that I had been in a really, really long time. And I was very proud of myself because it was actually lower than what I was when we came back from Mexico in January. I think when we came back in January, I was like 207.5 pounds, something like that. And so I was lower than when I had like really started this whole thing. And so I was very, very proud of myself, right? And I went into vacation very proud of myself because the night before we left on vacation, I was being like very, very aware of what I was eating. I was drinking a lot of water. I had gone into vacation walking almost every single day. And in fact, that night, I can never sleep the night before vacation. At that point, I was walking like anywhere between like an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and 45 minutes. I was walking every single night. And so we left Indianapolis. Our plane left at like 6 a.m. on Thursday. So we had to leave our house at like 3:30. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to sleep. And so Alex went to bed at like 11 o'clock. And I was like, I'm going to go walk. And I walked for like an hour that night going into vacation. I was very proud of myself. I was the lowest weight I had been in a long time. And so, I felt very proud of myself. And I had already kind of made up my mind that going into vacation, I wasn't going to be, I wasn't going to like pay attention to every little thing that I was going to eat because that kind of ruins it for me. And then I've gone on vacations. Let me just tell you a past story. So the last Christmas that I spent with my mom, was a period of my life where I was frantically watching everything that I was eating. And it was not healthy eating. At that point, I was eating like 2 lean cuisine meals a day. And I lost, I think, something like 40 pounds in like 2.5 months. It was incredibly unhealthy, right? And so we would always get a cabin every year for Christmas the last couple years in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, because I loved the movie Smoky Mountain Christmas with Dolly Parton, and so we started doing that. And so that last Christmas, we had booked a cabin, and my ex and I had just broken up several weeks before, and so it ended up being just my mom and I in this big cabin. And I can remember on Christmas Eve, like, she was very excited about going out to some restaurant. Gatlinburg has a lot of really cute restaurants, and she was really excited about going out to some really cute restaurant for Christmas Eve and things like that. And I was like, no, we have to go to the grocery store. And all the times before that we had gone to Gatlinburg and got a cabin, I would always get like, this was before I was a vegetarian, I would always get like sausage biscuits for in the morning and tons of snacks and chips and dip and cookies to make in the oven and all that kind of stuff, right? And that year, it was like when we went to the grocery store, my mom got what she wanted, and I ended up getting like all lean cuisines. And I remember at that time, if anybody's ever like eaten a lot of lean cuisines, I don't even know if they make this one anymore, but I was just every single day I was eating, I think it was called chicken and basil pasta, and I would eat 2 of those every single day. 2 chicken and basil pastas or that was it. Maybe it was basil chicken and pasta or something. I don't know what it was called, but it was some combination of that. And that was literally what I ate every single day. 2 of those. I mean, I was eating like 700 calories. It was really, really unhealthy. And so I remember that Christmas, I think it was Christmas Eve, she was like really excited about going somewhere. And I was like, Mom, you know, like I'm on this like diet. I have to watch what I'm eating and whatever. And so she kind of like, I could tell, you know, she kind of felt let down, but she was trying to be supportive of me and all that kind of stuff, right? And so she said, okay. And so we went to the grocery store, and I remember like I got her these, I can't never remember that place. It's the place that has the chicken pot pies and it's like fast food or whatever. But anyway, they had the meals there. And, so I got her like turkey and mashed potatoes and like macaroni and cheese. And I remember when we were sitting there eating our basically TV dinners, you know, on Christmas Eve. And my mom was trying to be so sweet about it. And she was like, this is really good. Like, thank you so much. Like, this is actually better than I thought it would be and whatever. And I can remember in that moment, I thought to myself, you become so consumed with losing weight and your appearance and all that stuff that you're really missing out on moments. Like, you should have taken your mom out to dinner, you know? And I'm not somebody that says that I live life with no regrets. Like when people say that they don't have any regrets and stuff, I'm not somebody that says that. I have many regrets in my life, and that's actually one of the regrets that I have is that Christmas and not taking my mom out to a Christmas dinner. You know, it was something that would have really, really made her happy. I have gone on vacations where I'm trying to eat healthy and diet and things like that. And it ends up being like we go out to fantastic restaurants and I don't allow myself to enjoy it. And I basically get like a side salad and a glass of water. And then I like, you know, look back on that trip and it's like 2 months later, I'm still the same weight. And I'm like, well, you could have enjoyed that trip. So going into this vacation, I was like, I'm not going to do that. We're going to be with other couples. We went with 3 other couples. I was like, I'm going to enjoy the meals that I'm going to eat. I don't usually, when we go to Mexico, I don't usually eat tons anyway. And I don't usually snack a lot. I'm laughing as I say that because this trip was a little bit different. And so, and I'm usually pretty active. Like Alex and I usually walk up and down the beach every day. It's probably like 3 miles. We walk up and down the beach, you know, every day. We didn't do that this time. We did it one time. And most of the trip, the beginning part of it was us just like sitting by the pool with everybody else or on the beach. And, in fact, it rained like the first 2 days, so it didn't really get nice until, well, it rained all day the first day, and then the second day it partly rained, but we were sitting by the pool. So we didn't even get to really go to the beach until like the 4th day. And, you know, on the beach, it's, you know, when they bring you stuff, like, it's from the bar. So they're bringing like my husband some beers and me some Diet Pepsis and things like that, right? They don't have Diet Coke. They only have Diet Pepsi at this resort. That's why, because people will be like, oh, you only drink Diet Coke in a can. But anyway, but like throughout the day, like my husband might get like a pizza or something like that or some chicken fingers, but I usually don't. I usually only eat dinner. Well, this time, everybody was ordering food throughout the day. They were getting like chips and guac. They were getting pizzas. They had like a great little pizza place there. And they were getting this and they were getting that. And so I was like, well, you know, I'm joining the crowd. Like, this is vacation. This is my husband's birthday. And it was kind of like relatively my birthday week too, because my birthday was last weekend. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do this. So like I would order a pizza in the morning, whatever. And I would go to the coffee shop in the morning where I usually just got a coffee and I would get like a coffee and then like a donut or something like that. And I noticed that I was snacking more than I usually do. But I was kind of like, well, everybody's doing it, so I'm going to do it. It was kind of my mentality. It was just not, it was not healthy. And so, and you know, I wasn't being super active. You know, we weren't walking on the beach as much. I still got in the water and played and whatever, but like not as much as, it was a lot of like laying around and talking and things like that. And so I just really was pretty inactive. But I didn't like buy tons of snacks and have them in the room. You know, that was one thing. I had a few things, but not tons. And so I didn't think that I did that horrible. And when we got back from vacation, so on our trip back, we had a huge layover in Miami, and we went to like, you know, one of those lounges, those airline lounges, and I just ate a bunch of junk that night, and I had like bought stuff at the airport. Like I was like, it's my last day coming back, you know, and I knew my birthday was in 2 days. We came back on the 27th, my birthday's on the 29th. I knew I wasn't going to eat healthy for my birthday, right? And I'd already made that up in my mind. This is where, like, the food addiction really kicks in for me, is that I'm like, oh no, it's my birthday, like, I'm gonna eat unhealthy, right? Or it's vacation, whatever. And this is where I'm gonna have to probably just change a lot of thinking. And so I bought a lot of snacks. I was eating to the point where I hadn't done this in a very, very long time, where I was uncomfortably full. And so that was on the way back. And then that was Thursday that we got back. Friday, I don't remember really what I did, but I don't think I did too bad on Friday. But Saturday, since it was my birthday, maybe Thursday we did order something bad. I think maybe we've ordered Cheesecake Factory, or I've ordered Cheesecake Factory. Like, Alex ordered it like 2 days with me. I think we've ordered it like 4 times. I've ordered Piata. I got junk on the way home on Tuesday night. So Tuesday night I went to a meeting with my friend Tanya Jean, and afterwards she always stopped at the gas station to get a fountain pop and stuff, and she got chips. I got like chips. I got an egg salad sandwich. I was like, I haven't had an egg salad sandwich from the gas station in forever, because I had already like been eating bad. And so my mentality was like, just wait until Thursday. Just wait until Thursday when you do your weigh-in, and then start it on Thursday. And that was just, it's like that mentality has really wrecked me this week. And when I got back I weighed myself on Friday morning, when, like, after we had gotten back on Thursday late night, and my weight was like, it was not good. I think I was up like 3 pounds at that point. Well, I kept on eating Cheesecake Factory like 3 or 4 times, Piata, and it's just been one thing after another. I mean, I even got like a box of like, I ordered on my birthday, I also got Insomnia cookies, and I had those come, you know? So it's just like, I was like, and then we went out to dinner for my mother-in-law's birthday on Sunday, and then they got my mother-in-law and I both cakes with like a candle at the restaurant and stuff like that. I didn't actually eat that much at the restaurant because I really was so full from the night before, but it's just been one thing after another. And so I got on the scale today. Last time that I weighed in, I was at 206 pounds. Today I weighed in and I was 211.4. So I've gained 5.4 pounds, which seems astronomical. I'm trying not to beat myself up about it, because it would be really, really easy for me to be like, you just like threw it all away. And that's just not the case. I know the things I need to do. I haven't walked since I've been home. Every day, if you watch my vlog, I've been like, I want to walk and then I don't walk. I want to walk and then I don't walk, right? So I know the things that I need to do. I need to be drinking my water. I need to be making better health, or better eating choices. And I, need to be drinking more water and walking and doing all that kind of stuff. I know what I need to do, right? So to be honest with you, I'm not really that worried about it, because I know that I can get back down to where I was before I left on vacation, possibly even this week, and if I do the right things. I've mentioned before that I also am going to contact a dietitian and a personal trainer. I have started that process. I don't want to get on video and say, I probably will not say like what happened until after I've met with them, because I don't like want to say it and then people be like every week, like, well, what happened about this and what happened about that? So when that happens and I have met with them, so for those of you that don't know, like, I want to meet with like a dietitian that can like look at my blood records and stuff like that, or all of my reports from my doctor, like tell me like what things I can appropriately eat that might be better for my body type. And then I want to meet with a personal trainer that can tell me like exercises I can do at home, like weightlifting, certain things that I can do other than just walking, because my plan is that I want to walk to run by this fall. Now it's like we're halfway through the summer and it's the hottest time and things like that, but that's still my goal, right? And so I think it's just about, I think for me, one of the things I learned this last week is that, before, I never was doing this, like weighing in once a week on video. And so mostly I would talk about my weight gain, my weight loss on my vlog. And I can remember like, it would be like August or September, and we would be planning to go to Ultra Music Festival the following March. And I would say, okay, I'm going to start eating healthy and I'm going to lose like 60 pounds by next March, and all this kind of stuff. And I wouldn't do it. And it just would like really eat me alive. And then I would get some comments from people and they would say, I knew you weren't going to lose the weight, and here it is, it's ultra, and you're heavier now than you were when you said you were going to lose the weight. And I think the thing is that like, I didn't have an outlet where I was talking about my weight loss. I was just like sharing what I was going through on my vlog. And so I don't know that people necessarily saw the behind the scenes when the camera was turned off, but that really, not those comments, but myself, like hatred of what I was going through with the weight gain was really eating me alive, because it almost kind of made it worse, if you want to know the truth, because everything that anybody would say, I had already said to myself, and 10 times worse. That's the thing, is like, when you deal with weight and you struggle with your weight, like anything that anybody can say to you, you've already said to yourself in your head, right? Like you've already been your own worst critic. So it's really not that anybody can ever say anything to you and point anything out that you haven't said to yourself. But what it would do was that negativity in my head almost kind of sabotaged me, and then I just kind of give up and I just be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like that's the thing for me, is that I'm fully aware of the mistakes that I made, and I can like, wrap it up to, this is 2 weeks of my life where I went on vacation. It was my birthday, and I made a hell of a lot of excuses to eat poorly. I mean, I ate good. I mean, I ate bad as far as health-wise, but the food was delicious, and I ate great. And I'm not unhappy about that, But I didn't make good food choices. I also don't want to live to the point where, and I've done this at points in my life where I'm like I said, like with the Christmas with my mom, where I'm so conscious of every single thing that I'm doing that I'm missing out on moments in my life. I don't want to do that, right? And when I start looking at this as like a couple year thing or a lifelong thing to meet my goals, it doesn't seem like immediate. Like I've got 6 months to meet my goals and be bikini ready or summer, hot summer ready. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like this is a constant, ongoing learning process. Next time I go on vacation, I'll make better choices. When I get back, I'll make better choices immediately. I won't be like, okay, I can wait until Monday. If we get back on a Thursday, I'll make better choices, And so I'm learning as I go. This thing keeps on popping up for me on Instagram, and I don't believe that it's, I don't believe it's by accident. It keeps on, I think I shared it once, and now it keeps on showing up on other accounts, and I don't necessarily know exactly, let me see if I can pull it up. I think I screenshot it, so let me see if I can pull it up in here, but it's something about excuses versus results. Have you guys seen this before? Hold on a second, let me see if I can, let me search it out. Excuses. Oh, no, I'm not going to be able to find it. Maybe I don't have it on here. Maybe this is like 33 things that has excuses in it. Oh, no. That's a receipt for something. But it's something like, it's July. In 6 months, by the end of the year, you'll either have 6 months of excuses or 6 months of results. The choice is yours. And I saw that and I was like, this is so powerful to me, right? Because like, this is something that I've known all along. That, like when I would say in like September, August, that by March, I was going to be like, ready to go to Florida and I was going to be this weight and whatever. That I was going to either have 6 months, I knew in that moment, I was either going to have 6 months of excuses that I had made, or I was going to have 6 months of results. The reality is, the excuses are to myself, that's the mind playing on myself. I have a plan to get back, on track, and I hope that plan works. I will say this, the beating myself up, those days are over. I can't do it anymore. I started down that road, and I just was this week and was like, I got on the scale. So this is the other thing I want to say. There's a lot of discussion about you shouldn't weigh yourself every day. You should weigh yourself every day. Some of it's water weight, some of it's not. I will say this. I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day. That, for me, I do think it is healthier for me to weigh myself every day. Because when I weigh myself every day, like I noticed this week, because I knew that I was putting on weight, that I kind of like steered away from weighing myself in the mornings. Because I didn't really want to know what it said. Because I'll be honest with you, when I get on that scale and it says, it's like I've gained weight, or it's like I'm not happy with the results. It in my head, what it does is it's like, okay, today's the day you need to get started. You need to, like, I can't hide from that number, right? No matter if it's water weight gain or poor choices or I've gained weight or whatever, I can't hide from that number. When I weigh myself on a more regular basis, it keeps me more on track than if I don't weigh myself at all. And I know that that's not the case for some people, but that's the case for Peter. Like, that's true for me, right? And so when I weigh myself on a daily basis or an everyday basis, like, I kind of go back and forth with this, but this last week was a good example of this. I did not weigh myself as much as I usually do, and it was almost kind of like I knew that I was making poor eating choices and I was eating badly, and so I was staying away from the scale because I didn't really want to see it. Had I started getting on the scale regularly, I think earlier in the week, I think it probably would, or like, earlier last week, it probably would have stopped it and been like, okay, instead of me, on a Tuesday night, I've gone to the gas station with my friend Tanya Jean a lot of Tuesday nights, and not picked up chips and cookies and, cheese and egg salad sandwiches and things like that. Like, I know better, right? And so, but this week, I was just kind of like, I don't care. And that's not healthy for me not to care. So this was a good learning experience for me this last week. But I think the biggest learning experience for me was, for so many years, I've beat myself up over my weight. I've beat myself up over lack of results and things like that. You know, and it was interesting because I'm watching Sister Wives right now, and there's the part where they're like going to the gym and they're working out this personal trainer, and he asks each of them after like a week, like, do you have more energy? Do you feel better? And they all of them say yeah. And this week, I will tell you, like, I totally noticed that, like, I'm sleeping more, I'm really tired, like I'm lagging, and that, I mean, even just a couple pounds, it's not even just that, it's just the inactivity, the not moving, the not drinking a lot of water, the not being super active and things like that. I can tell a huge difference in that. So, you know, in 6 months, I want to have 6 months of results. I don't want to have 6 months of excuses. And for that case, I got to get, you know, back on track and do what I know works for me. So that's where we're at this week. Anyway, let me know how you're doing in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.